Good morning everyone, it's Gail here from Ornamentology. Now I thought I'd do something a bit different today. On my way back from the post office from posting someone's hat, I noticed that the elderflower tree was in blossom. So I decided I'd make some elderflower cordial. So I'm going to give you a run through of how I do it. So in my jam pan here, I've got 1.5 litres of water out of the tap and a bag of granulated sugar. Nothing too complicated there. Put the cold water in, chuck the sugar over the top, and I'm just currently warming it up and bringing it to a boil. I collected 20 elderflower heads. Now you need to smell them. If they smell like cat wee, please don't get them. You want the ones that smell fragrant and beautiful. And I've just taken them out of the bag that I brought them in and just put them here so that they can kind of relinquish any insects that are lurking about. And then in my plastic bucket, I've got here, in this particular setup, I've only got lemons and limes in stock. So basically, let me just show you the inside of there because that's quite interesting to look at. I've just chopped them quite small. You need citrus fruit, so you either need a combination of lemons, oranges and limes. In here, this is a lemon and lime one. You need about 6 fruits. Muddle them up however you do. If the oranges are small, or if any of the citrus fruits are small, then add more. You can't go wrong with this. So basically what you do is you wait until this water comes to a boil, and then you plunge these gorgeous things in here. Give them a quick stir round for probably about a minute, not much more, and then tip the whole lot into here. Also in here, you need some citric acid. Let me just get into my cupboard and show you what that whoa, everything falls out the cupboard, doesn't it? Let me show you what that looks like. I use this one. I get it from, unfortunately, Amazon. It's the food grade one. It's really useful. This is a 750 gram bag. You might think, goodness me, woman, what are you doing with it? It's really quite useful. If you want to descale your kettle, I'm going to show you the elderflowers because they're beautiful. If you want to descale your kettle, you can also use citric acid for that. But for this amount, 1.5 litres of water, bag of sugar, 20 heads, 6 assorted citrus fruits, you need 30 grams of citric acid. So that's in there, and I've squished it about a bit. So the next thing I'm going to do is to chuck the elderflowers into the boiling sugar syrup, really, and then whick it all into the bucket. Cover it over with give it a good old mix up. Cover it over with a tea cloth or something, plate, whatever you've got to cover your receptacle. It doesn't have to be a bucket, it can be anything, but it needs to hold the volume of water, obviously, sugar syrup. Leave it to stand for a whole day, giving it a stir when you go past. I just cover it over to just prevent the fruit flies, to be fair. And then give it a whole 24 hours and then sieve it through, and the liquid that you have will be this really beautiful elderflower cordial or elderflower syrup. So what you do with that is you can either freeze it, I freeze mine. I have one that I'm drinking as I go along, and I use my fizzy water from my soda stream. You can freeze it into ice cubes and drop it into your drink, which is really lovely. You can freeze it, I freeze mine in ziplock bags, and it never really freezes because it's quite sugary, so it kind of remains quite soft. You can actually eat it as is, as kind of like a sorbet, I suppose, if you felt like it. But it's beautiful. If I'm making guzgog jam, I'll put a couple of blobs of it in, or a splosh of it in, and then I get gooseberry and elderflower jam. But anyway, so that's it. I'm not going to do the dangerous bit where I do all of this on camera, but I think you get the idea. You put the elderflowers in the sugar syrup for a minute, twizzle it round, switch off the heat, pour the whole thing from this pan into this bucket, give it a good stir, let it stand for 24 hours. Enjoy. Thank you very much for your time. Bye now. Hello, this is part 2. I've decided not to do the Captain Dangerous thing where I poured the hot water syrup, sugary syrup, in whilst holding to my iPad with one hand, because that seemed like too many things at once. So basically in here we've got the citrus fruit chopped, the citric acid, 30 grams, the boiling sugar syrup, which is 1 litre of water and, sorry, 1.5 litres of water, I beg your pardon, and a bag of sugar, all mixed. The elderflower heads were plunged in, twirled round a little bit, no more than a minute, put in my bucket, and then I'm going to cover this over with a tea cloth and leave it for a day. when I've finished, I'm going to strain mine through a jelly bag. But if you haven't got one of those, you know those kind of bags that they sell in supermarkets for you to put your fruit in when you buy it. If you get a big enough one of those, you can do that and then just drain it over so that you get all the best of the fruit out. I have been known to use the citrus peels, chop them as finely as I can muster, and turn that into marmalade. But I overboiled my first lot, so note to self, if you do it, it sets really quickly because obviously it's got all the sugar in from this. So that's worth doing. Just look up a marmalade recipe and make it less sugary, really. I just winged it, to be honest. I couldn't tell you how much sugar I put in, and that's probably half the problem. I just lobbed a bit in and hoped for the best, like you do. Anyway, this will be ready to enjoy probably by lunchtime tomorrow, I would have thought, and it'll be really sharp because it's not got any oranges in this one. But you know, you just use whatever citrus fruit you've got in the fruit bowl, really. Anyway, this is part 2. I hope you found part 1. I'm going to try and cobble them together and make one video, so good luck with that. And I'll hope you make it. There's also a pink cultivar. It's called Sambuca elderflower, and I made some of that last year. It's a slightly different taste, but your elderflower cordial comes out pink, which is rather lovely. It's quite nice in gin, darling, if that's your thing, or probably vodka, because vodka's kind of gin with fancy bits in, isn't it? Anyway, there we are. I hope you enjoyed this little cookery class. Delia Smith, I am not the BBC's footage. This is not, but you know, it's all hobbled and cobbled together, isn't it? Anyway, enjoy it if you make it, and speak to you next time. Bye now.